Means that do it. Burger
Welcome to Airchecks. We will be presenting a full episodes of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Dirk Gentley's holistic detective agency for the next 6 episodes as a tribute to Douglas Adams. The beginning starts at episode 21, R1 on September 16, 2023. The first 2 series were first released on record, as broadcast radio in 1979, audio cassette, revised from radio, and CD in 1988, marking the 10th anniversary of the first broadcast of the first episode. These were the first programs of any kind released on CD by the BBC Radio Collection. The 2 radio series were known simply as the first series and the second series until 1992, when the BBC made its first re-release in separate boxes as the primary phase and the secondary phase. The episodes were released with those titles in 1993, and again in 1998, for the series' 20th anniversary. In 2001, they became the first programs of any kind re-released by the BBC Radio Collection in an MP3 CD format. A 3-CD set of the tertiary phase was released in mid-October 2004, before the final episodes were broadcast. These CDs contain extended material, previously cut to make 27-minute episodes for radio. A 2-CD set of the Quandary Phase was released at the end of May 2005, and a 2-CD set of the Quintessential Phase was released at the end of June 2005. Both sets again include material that was originally cut for reasons of timing. The 6th series is scheduled for release on CD on April 13, 2018. A script book for the final 14 episodes was released in July 2005. The book is entitled The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Radio Scripts, the Tertiary, Quandary, and Quintessential Phases. Dirk Maggs writes in his introduction that the book is a companion volume to the original radio scripts. A box set entitled The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the complete radio series, was released on October 3, 2005. It contains 15 CDs, subdivided per radio series, and bonus material exclusive to the box set. BBC Audio released a DVD version of the tertiary phase, featuring that series in 5.1 surround sound, in October 2006. Contrary to previous announcements, this was merely a DVD video disc with Dolby Digital sound and other features, rather than a DVD audio disc. While it had been stated that BBC Audio plans on also releasing the 4th and 5th radio series on DVD, no dates have been set. From the Quandary Phase of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, here's Fit the 19th.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Quandary Phase.
This is Prostechnik Fogon Jokes of the Galactic Hyperspace Planning Council. As you will no doubt be aware, the plans for development of the outlying regions of the galaxy require the building of a hyperspatial express route through your star system. And regrettably, your planet is one of those scheduled for demolition, blah, 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 blah. You must know the drill by now.
Stylish piece of admonition, that's all.
Don't push it.
Vogons are unpleasant enough to gaze upon in their youth, and the passing years do nothing to enhance their appearance. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has a neat little animation showing how the highly domed nose rising above their small green-skinned foreheads tends to develop growths, sprouting tufts of coarse hair in middle age. Their voices and social skills are similarly prone to decay. All Vogons, particularly those of the prostetnic class and above, rise to power not so much by merit as by sheer thick-willed slug-brained stubbornness, and quite a lot of shouting. And any appeal to their better nature is, by definition, flogging a dead Equinusian pack beast.
This is the Canis Minor Supreme Pontiff. There is some mistake. Please remove your ships from orbit.
The same old. All the planning charts have been on display in your local planning department in Ganymede for 27 of your stellar orbits, so you might as well just shut up.
Sir.
But I have...
Sir.
Hold the line, please, caller.
But...
What?
Sir, a priority message from Mega Brantis.
Did anyone order you to come barging in here without knocking? Did they? Now, go out, go back to the communication deck and start again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Evolution gave up on the Vogons at almost the precise moment they emerged from the primeval seas of Vogsphere, panting, heaving, and demanding a towel. In turn, the Vogons said to themselves, who needs evolution anyway? And what nature refused to do for them, they did without, until their myriad anatomical deficiencies could be rectified with surgery. Their planet was developing fairly significant hygiene issues with the ensuing membrane mountains and liposuction lakes when the Vogons suddenly discovered the principles of interstellar travel and migrated to the Megabrantis cluster, the political hub of the galaxy. Bureaucracy is a parasite that preys on free thought and suffocates free spirit, and the Vogons love bureaucracy above all things. Thus, within a few short Vogue years, the philosophers who once governed the galaxy were banished to the tax return office to lick stamps. And now the Galactic Civil Service, like everything else, is a strictly Vogon operation. In most respects, the modern Vogon differs little from his primitive forebears. For example, every year the Vogons import 27,000 of the scintillating jewel-scuttling crabs that decorate their native planet, in order to while away one happy, drunken night, smashing them to bits with iron mallets.
Come.
Sir,
Have you washed your hands?
No.
Good. Now, what's the message?
Right. What is it now?
Prostetnic Vogon Jeltz is fairly typical of his species, in that he started his career being thoroughly vile, and has now worked his way up to utterly hateful, especially to other Vogons.
Hurry up, or I shall read you one of my poems. A long one which doesn't scan.
Oh, yes, sir. A priority message from Mega Brantis. It appears there is a problem. Highway crew are just surveying the ZZ9 Plura Z Alpha route, and there's a planet in the way, sir, called Earth.
No, there isn't. I blew up that planet myself. I took it out as neat as you like.
Well, it's still there.
Are you arguing with me?
Only in the sense of ever so slightly.
Ever so slightly happens to qualify.
We are to proceed back to Mega Brantis at once and report, sir.
I give the orders around here. Well, thank me.
What for?
For not losing my temper with you.
Thank you so much.
Oi! I didn't order you to die!
You, aboard the Vogon Constructor Fleet, are you still listening? We've checked our records and I can assure you our planet is not to be...
Sorry, this window is now closed. Particle cannon!
Particle cannon. Aye, sir. Vaporize or rubble, sir.
Lady's choice.
You're so good to me, sir.
Far out in the uncharted backwaters of the unfashionable end of the western spiral arm of the galaxy lies a small, unregarded yellow sun. Orbiting this at a distance of roughly 92 million miles was once an utterly insignificant little blue-green planet whose ape-descended life forms were so amazingly primitive that they thought novelty ringtones were a pretty neat idea. the planet had a problem, which was this. Most of the people on it were unhappy for pretty much of the time. A lot of them were mean, and the majority were miserable, even the ones whose cell phones were set to vibrate. Many were increasingly of the opinion that they'd all made a big mistake in coming down from the trees in the first place, and some said that even the trees had been a bad move, and that no one should ever have left the oceans. And then one Thursday, a girl sitting on her own in a small cafe in Rickmansworth suddenly realized what it was that had been going wrong all this time, and saw how the world could be made a good and happy place. However, before she could switch on her cell phone to tell anyone, the Earth was unexpectedly demolished to make way for a new hyperspace bypass, and the idea was lost forever. Or so it seemed, for that is not the end of her story. It picks up again in a field by the A303 in Somerset, England. The local weather forecast predicts a balmy evening with clear skies and light breezes. The hitchhiker aboard the spacecraft, which has just made an unscheduled stop here, is thus reassured to find that, this being England, clouds are gathering and a thunderstorm is fast approaching.
Very kind of you. Thank you very much. An excellent ship for a teaser. Deceptively roomy in the back. Cheerio, then. Yes, sorry about that. I had to hang my pyjamas on something. I didn't realize it was your girlfriend.
If you were to take the findings of the latest mid-galactic census report as any kind of guide, you might guess that this spacecraft would hold about 6 people at a stretch, and you would be right. The census report, like most such surveys, has cost an awful lot of money, and doesn't tell anybody anything they don't already know, except that every single person in the galaxy has 2.4 legs and owns a hyena. Since this is clearly not true, the whole thing will eventually be scrapped. Arthur Dent is strictly 2-legged and does not own a hyena that he knows of. However, he has managed to hitchhike across the galaxy from a pleasant if dull exile on the planet Cricket to his home planet Earth. The fact that he's not had to resort to time travel to arrive at a planet which should no longer exist is one he's decided to ignore for the time being. Suffice to say that Arthur is a little older, his dressing gown a little grubbier, and he is carrying a large plastic shopping bag which he will shortly discover has a big hole in the bottom.
Oh, typical.
Arthur managed to replace his increasingly smelly homemade rabbit skin pouch with this odorless but significantly less intact receptacle several days and some 1,500 light-years distant at a stopover in the Port Braster megamarket. At the same time, he took the opportunity to raise some cash by selling all the blood, sperm and hair cuttings he could survive without to the less fussy medical, reproductive and dandruff research establishments. He also routinely updated his copy of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Please wait. This entry is being updated over the sub-Ethernet.
The update triggered an alert which stopped him in his tracks.
Suffering Zarquon!
Distracted by the consequently urgent need to find a ride, Arthur grabbed this bag without looking. It's a plastic carrier with a clever and elaborate pun in lingua centauri on its side, a marketing slogan which reads, to anyone who can decipher it, "Be like the 22nd elephant with heated value in space. Bark."
Hello? What are you? I'm sorry. My towel must still be somewhere aboard. It's fallen out of the hole in his bag.
The cops!
Oh, you found... Oh! Miserable six-arm. Your girlfriend is a hat stand and my mattress smelled of swamp! Home. Well, don't question the rain, Arthur. Enjoy it. Own it. Ah, headlights. Right. Confident smile. Stick out thumb. And beg. Please stop. Please stop. Ugh. My other car is also a Porsche. How about a sticker that says, "I'm an unbelievable prat in any car"?
The Earth is a world whose entire entry in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy comprises the 2 words, mostly harmless. The author of this entry is named Ford Prefect, and he is at this precise moment far away, on a far from harmless world, sitting in a far from harmless bar, recklessly courting trouble. Whether it's because he's drunk, ill, or suicidally insane would not be apparent to the casual observer. Not that there are any casual observers in the old Pink Dog Bar on the lower south side of Handold City. One of those nasty hushes has descended on the place, a sort of missile crisis hush, broken only by the evil-looking bird perched on the bar, continually screeching the names of local contract killers.
Kick-Ass McFist, 555-87652.
All eyes are on Ford Prefect. Some of them are on stalks, literally.
Like I said, we don't take it.
Everybody takes it.
Necro-Mort Donor, 555-2964.
You pay your drinks bill in cash or you surrender your breathing privileges.
Skrill Splenetizor, 0800 what?
What are you worried about? The expiration date. Have you guys never heard of neo-relativity out here? There's whole new areas of physics which can take care of this sort of thing. Time dilation effects, temporal relostatics.
We are not worried about the expiration date.
Well, that's good then.
Eviscerator, 555-93864.
We are worried about the entire piece of plastic.
This is an American Express card. It's the finest way of settling bills known to man. You're supposed to say, "That'll do nicely, sir," and swipe it.
It may do nicely where you come from, Sonny, but here it don't.
Kai Apparoon, 555-83645.
What kind of clip joint is this? You present me with a drinks bill that would bankrupt a Triganic pew collector, then demand cash.
Asking for credit in the old Pink Dog?
Ha! Credit?
Credit and two words that go together here, coupled with "you're gonna die, boy."
Charlie Headpunter, 555-936.
Will you take your hand off my throat?
It's not my hand. It belonged to the original landlord. He left it to medical science. They didn't like the look of it, so they gave it back to the bar.
I can't pay with a severed hand strangling me.
It's only doing its job. It takes orders, it serves drinks, it deals with people who need dealing with. People who tried to pay with plastic. Plastic we have never heard of. Release! I know your face.
So, let's not rearrange it, right? I want you always to remember me this way.
You've pulled this before.
Snide Irrigator, 555.
Can you get that bloody bird to shut up?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. You're next.
Tell you what, let me have a look at that bill again, would you? Oh, I really drank all this, did I?
An hour ago, you said the drinks were on you. And the pimps get very thirsty round here. The only people who get thirstier are the record company executives. And this is their annual convention week. So that's the bill you ran up. Either it gets settled or you get terminated. Nothing personal, only I have a reputation to think of. You do see that, don't you?
Okay, now, the way I see it, I've made a bona fide attempt to pay my bill and it's been rejected. You're just going to have to come up with a better idea.
We used to have a sign in here. Please don't ask for credit because having your throat torn out by a savage bird while a disembodied hand smashes your head against a bar often offends.
Why'd you take it down?
Our reputation was enough. A reputation I have to maintain.
Oh, well. If it's your reputation you're worried about, how about this?
You're from
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Want a write-up?
That'll do nicely, sir.
Standing forlornly by an English A road, which until recently he thought extinct, Arthur Dent has attempted with limited success to simultaneously wring out his soaked dressing gown, keep dry under a souvenir Wicket-Gate jogging towel, and keep a hopeful thumb stuck out. The rain begins to fall more heavily, but salvation is about to pull up, stenciled on several sides. McKenna's all-weather haulage.
Need a lift? Yes, please. Hop in then.
Oh, you're soaking. I wasn't until a Porsche drenched me. Bloody Porsche drivers hate them.
I've been blocking him for the last 20 miles. He was taken out on you.
Well, you do that to make your job more enjoyable?
No, I do it because I'm a miserable bastard, and I know it. Rob McKenna.
Arthur Dent.
I know it because people keep pointing it out to me. Don't see any reason to disagree with them, except that I like disagreeing with people, especially people I don't like, which includes most people.
Well, certainly bucketing down.
Oh, bucketing down, yes, that's a good one. Yes, hand me that notebook, will you? I'll write that down.
A good what?
Rain type 232 bucketing down.
Would you rather I write it while you concentrate on your
And you pillock.
These rain types, they're all just as wet as each other. Surely it's just rain.
Just rain? You tell that to the dolphins. Did you know that the Eskimos have over 200 different words for snow?
Really?
Right. Thin snow and thick snow. Light snow and heavy snow. Sludgy snow, brittle snow. Snow that comes in flurries. Snow that comes in drifts. Snow that comes in on the bottom of your neighbour's boots all over your nice clean igloo floor. The snows of winter, the snows of spring. The snows you remember from your childhood that were so much better than any of the modern snow. Fine snow, feathery snow. Hill snow, valley snow. Snow that falls in the morning. Snow that falls at night. And snow that falls just when you were going out fishing, and even though you've trained them not to do it, snow your huskies have pissed on.
And you've worked out there are 200 different types of rain?
231. 232 now. I write them down in this book.
Oh, I'm impressed.
And I don't like any of them. And I'll tell you the ones I hate the most.
Like I could stop you?
April showers. Bloody April showers. Hate.
But they're light and refreshing. Or at least I seem to remember they are. Rather nice, in fact.
Nice? If it's going to be nice, I want it to be nice without bloody raining. Since I left Denmark yesterday, I've been through 7 different types of April shower. Type 33, that was west of Copenhagen, look it up.
Light pricking drizzle, which makes roads slippery.
Type 39.
Heavy spotting.
And types 47 to 51.
Vertical light drizzle through to sharply slanting light to moderate drizzle, freshening. Yes.
And then types 87 and 88, finely distinguished varieties of vertical torrential downpour, 100 post-downpour squalling, cold, followed by all the sea storm types between 192 and 213 at once. Over the page.
Oh, right.
And since I docked at Harwich, types 123, 124, 126, 127, mild and intermediate cold gusting, regular and syncopated cab drumming, type 11. Breezy droplets, and as I pulled in just now, my least favourite of all, 17.
A dirty blatter striking the windscreen so hard that wipers make no difference.
Yeah, well, they do, actually, when the wiper blade's not flapping off.
Sorry to interrupt, but are we on the Taunton Road?
We were, long past the turning now.
Only that's near where I wanted to go, Cottington.
Good place to get out of, if you ask me.
Only I think I must have been on the wrong side of the road when you picked me up. I was trying to get back there, you see.
Did you have any kind of a plan when you started hitchhiking?
No. Well, survival, really. It was a long time ago.
I can see that. Did you grow that beard for a bit?
Look, can you drop me here? I really wanted to go in the other direction.
Mucky towel, dressing gown. What kind of a hitchhiker are you?
One of the wet, cold sort who's come a long way. Please, there's a lay-by. Look.
A flip heck.
Thank you.
Sorry. You're sorry. It's going to take me hours to get your Pong out of here.
Been away too long from running water, that's my problem. The rain stopped, just like that. How strange. Oh well.
All Arthur Dent knows at this moment is that the rain clouds which scud away in the lorry's wake are allowing him to dry off at last. All Rob McKenna knows is that the weeks he spends on the roads are wet and miserable, and that he cannot remember his last sunny holiday. All the clouds know is that they love him and they want to be near him, to cherish him, to nurture and to water him. For Rob McKenna is, in fact, a rain god.
Oh, blast! It started again! Headlights. Smile. Thumb out. Hello? Are you passing Taunton by any...
The rain leaves so much surface water that Arthur is drenched in turn by several cars.
Oh! God! Oh!
At last, a Saab pulls up. Its driver's name is Russell, and his sister in the back seat is taking no part in the proceedings at present.
Have you come far?
Yes. Well, no. Well, from a field over there. I mean, yes, actually.
Open the door and get in, for goodness sake!
Excuse me, madam, I'm looking for the best route to the...
Hello, handsome. Want to have a good time?
Thanks, I just had one.
You don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, but think of the fun I'll have imagining it.
Hello, darling. You rich?
Do I look rich?
Don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you'll get rich. I do a very special service for rich people.
Oh, yes. And what's that?
I tell them it's okay to be rich.
Tell me that again.
It's my big number. I have a master's degree in social economics, and I can be very convincing. People love it, especially in this city. Uh-oh, look out!
Sucking fodwads, now they're throwing people out of windows at me. I settled the bar bill.
It's only a bass player. Probably got shot by his drummer for forgetting the riff. Bass players are 2 a penny on the streets of Hand-Old City. You know the difference here between a bass player and a dead dog?
There are skid marks in front of the dog.
Oh, you knew it.
Like an old friend. It's a bit lively round here, isn't it?
One police tribe sets off the block alarm so that they can lay an ambush for the other police tribe. The copters come in and pick off rookies. Or the musicians.
What the go? Ow! Like drummers?
No. Targeting drummers is part of their public service remit.
Goosenark. Time for a drop of that old jank spirit.
Can you spare me some? I'm freezing in this skirt.
I was going to compliment you on the belt. Here, wipe the top with this towel first.
Oh, good idea. Kill the germs on the bottle.
No, to kill the germs on the towel, they've been building up quite a complex and enlightened civilization on the smellier patches.
Right.
As it happens, I'm owed a lot of money. If I ever get hold of it, I could come and see you then.
Sure, I'll be here. So how much is a lot?
15 years back pay.
Oh, do you work on your back too?
No, I was reviewing a planet. It was only 2 words.
Zarpon? An entire planet in 2 words? Which one took the time?
The first one. Once I got that, the second word just popped up one afternoon after lunch. I wrote a lot more, but they cut it down. Then the planet got demolished. They've still got to pay me, though.
Who have?
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
You work for that thing? Soft number.
You want to see my entry before it gets erased? The new revisions must be out by now. It can't escape their notice forever that the Earth has been demolished.
Strut your stuff, honey.
Here.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Earth. Mostly harmless.
Please wait.
Here we go.
This entry is being updated over the sub-Ethernet.
It started.
The system will be down for a measurable period.
Goodbye, Earth. I'll miss your residual.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Earth. Mostly harmless, but with some uniquely civilized places to visit.
No way.
You got the time? I got the money.
Tips for aliens in New York.
I don't believe it.
Look, I'm a working girl and there's a client. Gotta go. If you get that money, look me up. You'll need me.
Yeah, I wrote this.
Hello, darling.
Get a job as a cab driver immediately. Don't worry if you don't know how the machine works or can't speak the language and have large green antennae growing out of your head.
But what's it doing in the guide?
In fact, this is the best way of staying inconspicuous. Amphibious life forms will particularly enjoy the East River.
This is a planet I saw completely destroyed with my own 2 eyes. Only Arthur Dent and I escaped, and only just.
How to have a good time in Bournemouth, Dorset, England. One of the most exciting places on any world in the known galaxy.
And one of the most baroque pieces of invention I ever delivered. Something very weird is happening. And if something very weird is happening, I want it to be happening to me.
It's okay to insist on a golden handshake, darling. Look at the way the whole economy is structured. Yes, darling?
Sorry to disturb. I have a major piece of unfinished business to attend to. Which way to the spaceport?
Follow the arrowway south, but it's 17 clicks away. You'll never make the shuttle.
No problem. I'll steal something fast. Now, This will do nicely.
Caution, you are picking the lock of a hand-doid law enforcement copter.
I know.
Brooke, as you have overridden my alarm circuits, I am powerless to stop you.
Right.
I was on my way to meet a friend in some far-flung bar when I discovered I still had a home to come back to. So it could have been a lot further. But even so, I'd say about 1,437 light years.
I'm sorry?
You were asking how far I'd come.
Sorry, I missed what you said.
Oh, there's someone in the back seat. Who is it?
Me sister.
Is she all right?
You all right, Fenny?
Fenny?
Yeah, that'll be the drugs.
And that's all right, is it?
Fine by me. Why'd you keep staring at her like that? She's not a junkie or anything. She's under sedation.
Is she ill?
No, just barking mad. Don't worry, it doesn't run in the family.
What?
She's loopy. Completely tonto. I'm taking her back to the hospital so they can have another go. This is your town, ain't it, Taunton?
Yes. No.
Well, make your mind up.
My house is another 5 miles, if that's all right.
Okay.
Tell me more about, Fenny.
Delusions. Says she suffers from strange delusions that she's living in the real world. It's no good telling her that she is living in the real world because she just says that's why the delusions are so real. And the doctors keep going on about strange jumps in her brainwave patterns.
Jumps?
This.
What did she say?
She said this.
This what?
How the heck should I know? Mad as a marine biologist she is.
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean.
Well, not exactly. You don't seem to care very much.
Well, of course I care.
Well, I didn't mean it to sound like that. I know you care a lot, obviously. Please excuse me, I just hitched from the other side of the Horsehead Nebula.
Eh?
Perhaps you'd better let me out.
Oh, in this weather? Bloody lorry! Twice now, bloody McKenna's all-weather haulage! Oh, just a shower. Anyway, where were we?
When did it start? Her delusions.
It started with all that business when everybody had the hallucinations, you remember?
No.
She was in a cafe somewhere. Rickmansworth. Apparently she stood up, calmly announced that she'd undergone some revelation or something, wobbled a bit, and then collapsed screaming into an egg sandwich.
But when you say everybody had hallucinations...
The big yellow ships in the sky announcing the end of the world, remember? Everyone going crazy and saying we're gonna die, and then pop, they vanished. The authorities denied it, of course, which meant it must be true.
They vanished?
Anyway, whatever drug it was that MI5 or the CIA or whoever it was put into the water supply or whatever it was, they didn't seem to wear off so fast with Fenny.
The Vogon... the yellow ships... vanished?
Well, of course they did. They were hallucinations.
What? Fenny, is she all right?
Would you please let go of the handbrake?
Sorry. Oh, look. That seems to be my house.
Unidentified police copter, spaceport air traffic. Alter course. The interplanetary shuttle is departing.
Hello, air traffic. Life has suddenly furnished me with a serious goal to achieve. I have new responsibilities. And that shuttle's not leaving without me. Hey! Hold the gangway! 1+ tower coming aboard!
Excuse me, sir, do you have a reservation?
No, but I have an American Express card.
Oh, I need to check that.
Cabin crew, secure pressure doors as traffic for liftoff.
I think you need to find me a seat first.
Were you wanting a Dentrassi storage bin or first-class massage chair with in-flight holovid and free novelty ringtone downloads?
Yes, please.
What possible purpose in life could inspire Ford Prefect more than drinking a lot and dancing with girls? Is Arthur Dent finally home for good? And how will the reappearance of Earth disrupt the Vogon's traffic calming initiative? The next episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy resolutely refuses to be ignored, discarded, or dropped out of a plastic carrier bag.
In that episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, William Franklin was the book. Simon Jones played Arthur Dent, Geoffrey McGivern, Ford Prefect, Bill Patterson, Rob McKenna, and Jane Horrocks was Fenchurch. Arthur Smith was the barman, Rupert Degar, Russell, Bob Golding, the Vogon guard, Alison Pettit, the stewardess, Fiona Carew, the hooker, Michael Kuehl, the Vogon helmsman, Chris Emmett, the evil-looking bird, and Toby Longworth was Prostetnik Vogon Jeltz. The announcer was John Marsh, the surround mix was by Paul Dealey, and additional effects by Ken Humphrey and Paul Weir. The script editor was John Langdon, and the music was by Paul Wicks-Wickens. The production manager was Joe Wheeler, and the production assistant was Susie Matthews. The programme was adapted, directed and co-produced by Dirk Maggs. The producers were Helen Chatwell and Bruce Hyman, and it was an above-the-title production for BBC Radio 4. For those listeners whose income exceeds 15,000 triganic pews per annum, regardless of orbital duration, wealth counselling is now available at a reasonable rate by the fire hydrant outside the old Pink Dog Bar in Handold City, just under the sign saying, "New bar bird wanted, knowledge of local hitmen vitally necessary."
That was Fit the 19th from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Here's Fit the 20th.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Quandary Phase.
Trying to predict the future is a mug's game, but it's a game that life forms everywhere learn to play, because the future is always changing and we're going to have to live there, probably as soon as next week. However, Arthur Dent could never have predicted that just a few days ago, an update to his copy of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy would suddenly declare that the Earth had now, for no reason that he could possibly fathom, flicked back into existence, as if it had never been destroyed by a Vogon constructor fleet at all. But any life form worth their sodium chloride would do what Arthur has consequently done under such circumstances. They would hitch the quickest ride home available by spacecraft, haulage lorry and Saab automobile. Though perhaps only Arthur Dent could have fallen in love at first sight with the Saab driver's catatonic sister, all but unconscious on its back seat.
Bye, Russell. Thanks for the ride. Bye, Fenny. Good grief. Am I really home? On Earth? No bulldozers, no Vogons? Everything as it was before? Before... The phone's ringing. The phone is ringing! Key. Need a key. Damn it. No, under the stone frog. Yes. Oh, door's stiff. Nail. Piles of it. Dead. Kitten? How? Oh, never mind. Right, the phone. Where did I leave the phone? Upstairs. I'm coming. I'm coming. Here. Here. Oh, zarking fartworks. I'm home. By my own personal timescale, so far as I can estimate it, it must be years since I left. But how long here? This is my house. The front door key where I left it, and my bed the way I left it the morning the bulldozers came. But how? The planet was demolished, utterly destroyed, and it wasn't a hallucination. Don't question it, Arthur. Enjoy it. Own it. Oh, getting dark. I wonder if the electricity has been cut off. Well. And everything's where I left it. Half-read book, half-thrown-away magazine. half-used towels, half pair of socks in half-drunk cup of coffee, another half pair missing in action, a half-eaten sandwich half turning into... Ugh. Bung a fork of lightning through this lot and you'll start the evolution of life all over again. Oh, hang on a minute. This is new. A present? It's heavy. A glass bowl. Engraved. So long, and thanks for all the fish. Odd. Looks like crystal. Sounds like crystal. Bit posh for cornflakes, I suppose. Ah! A fish bowl. For which I will require fish. And being home, I don't need you in my ear anymore. In you go, little babelfish. Have a holiday from all that translating. Where's my Hitchhiker's Guide? Oh no. Just a guide-sized hole in the bag. Oh well. Easy come, easy go.
Yes, sir, but it's a very bad line. Can I ask you first if you are a BT account holder?
Well, let's say I am, for the sake of argument.
And you're calling from where?
What does it matter where I'm calling from? Letchworth.
Well, I'm sorry, but you can't be coming in on that line. Not from Letchworth.
Stuff Letchworth, if that's your attitude.
Hold on, caller. Let me check the Letchworth exchange.
No!
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, in a moment of reasoned lucidity, which is almost unique amongst its 5,975,509 pages, says of the products of the Sirius Cybernetics Corporation that it is very easy to be blinded to the essential uselessness of them by the sense of achievement you get from getting them to work at all. In other words, and this is the rock-solid principle on which the corporation's galaxy-wide success is founded, their fundamental design flaws are completely hidden by their superficial design flaws. This not only suggests that the Sirius Cybernetics Corporation is responsible for the majority of personal computer operating systems sold across the galaxy, it is a widely respected view, widely held by right-thinking people who are largely recognizable as being right-thinking people by the mere fact that they hold this view. And Ford Prefect is one of them. Having learnt that nothing in life is certain, not even the destruction of a planet you've spent 15 years of your life researching, Ford is now attempting to put the universe, inasmuch as he understands it, to rights.
Come on!
Hello, caller?
Yes.
There's no way you are calling from Letchworth, sir.
I know that. I am an intragalactic hitchhiker calling from a sales scout ship of the Sirius Cybernetics Corporation, currently on the sub-light-speed leg of a journey between the stars known on your world, though not necessarily to you, dear lady, as Pleiades Epsilon and Pleiades Zeta.
Do you mean Harmsworth?
I know what I mean, and the reason why I am bothering you with it rather than just dialing direct as I could, because we have some pretty sophisticated telecommunications equipment here in the Pleiades, I can tell you, is that the penny-pinching son of a star beast piloting this son of a star beast spaceship has disabled it and insists that I call collect.
You want to reverse the charges?
No! These people are the creeps of the cosmos, polluting the celestial infinite with cell phones, palm tops and computer operating systems that never work properly, or when they do, perform functions that no sane person would require of them, and go beep to tell you when they've done it. And this guy is on a drive to sell more of them. And if his benighted consumers don't have mobile communications, PDAs and repetitive strain injuries, he will accelerate their technologies until they bloody well do have.
Can we just go back to the start?
No. Listen, I've shoved him into the suspended animation facility. He's fast asleep, and I've put his ship in a parking orbit round a moon of Sassafras Magna. You won't have heard of it, so don't ask. Now, all I need is for you to just do what I've asked you to do. Just like you do for any loyal customer.
And that's what you want, is it?
Yes.
Thank you, caller.
Look, I'm on a mission to save civilization as we know it, or something like that. And I know you're going to help me. Hello? Oh, I jump it.
At the third stroke, it'll be 1:32.
Yes!
And 10
She
seconds.
did it! You little beauty!
After the third stroke, it'll be 1:32 and 20 seconds.
Thank you for choosing the Sirius Cybernetics Corporation life pod.
The pleasure's all yours. Life pod, set coordinates to Port Cessaphron orbiting station.
Thank you. Share and enjoy.
Ooh.
Arthur Dent has awoken on Earth, the planet he thought he'd lost forever. No longer is he the wild-looking creature who arrived home last night. His hair is washed, his chin clean-shaven, his laundry done. His dressing gown is no longer decorated with the junk food condiment stains of 100 grimy spaceports. This morning he found the 3 least hairy things in the fridge, put them on a plate, and watched them intently for 2 minutes. Since they made no attempt to move within that time, he called them breakfast and ate them. Between them, they killed a virulent space disease he'd picked up without knowing it in the Phlargathon gas swamps a few days earlier, which otherwise would have killed off half the population of the Western Hemisphere, blinded the other half, and driven everyone else psychotic and sterile. So this particular incarnation of Earth was lucky there. Now he has some calls to make. What he most wants to do is locate and establish contact with Fenny, the disturbed young woman whose brother gave him a lift home last night and who's been exercising Arthur's imagination ever since.
BBC, this is Arthur Dent, the Light Ent producer.
But first he must deal with the massive contradictions his return journey has precipitated.
Look, just put me through to my head of department, would you?
This proves to be less tricky than he thought.
Yes, hello, make it quick, the pubs are open.
Geoffrey, Arthur here.
Oh.
Look, sorry I haven't been in for a while, but I've gone mad.
Yeah, oh, hang on. The usual for me, Richard. Arthur. Yes, look, not to worry. Thought it was probably something like that. Happens here all the time. What you need is something to ease you back in. Tell you what, there's a quiz show about wallpaper going begging. How soon can we expect you?
Whew. When do hedgehogs stop hibernating?
Hang on. Maureen, when do hedgehogs stop hibernating? No, that's bats. Really? Good grief. Sometime in spring, we think. Probably.
Right. Well, add a few minutes for me to have a shave, and I'll be in after that.
Great. And don't worry, we'll have your office cleared out and cleaned up for your return.
Gosh, thanks.
You'll never know it had writers sleeping in it, really.
Having exhausted the hospital sections of Yellow Pages, local directories, and even the police station, searching for a girl he barely glimpsed, all to no avail, Arthur Dent's good mood has ebbed away. In order to break the impasse, he decides to restock with food something less than 20 weeks past its best-by date.
Fenny, it's got to be a diminutive, but what of? Fenella? Fiona? Fenimore?
At this point in our story, Arthur's subconscious mind has accepted that the atmosphere of the Earth has closed, finally and forever, above his head.
Fenna? Fennick? Phenomenal.
He's put behind him the tangled web of irresolutions into which his galactic travels once dragged him. He can now forget that the big, hard, oily, dirty, rainbow-hung Earth on which he lives is a microscopic dot on a microscopic dot, lost in the unimaginable infinity of the universe.
Funicular? Fenstermacher? A phenylbarbitone?
And in drawing all these conclusions, he's completely and utterly and irrefutably wrong. The reason for this is standing at the next road junction under a small umbrella.
Fenny! Fenny! Fenny? Fenny?
How did you know my name?
I...
You're not a friend of my brother's, are you?
No.
Well?
Well, are you going somewhere? I can give you a lift.
Yes, I'm going to Taunton. Goodbye.
Well, that's wonderful.
Is it?
Well, yes. I only live a few miles away.
I don't live there. I'm going to the station. I live in London.
Oh, I can take you to London. Yes, let me take you to London.
Are you going to London?
I wasn't, but...
It's very kind of you, but I like the train. Thanks. Bye.
Fenny.
Yeah. How do you know my name?
Just supposing there was some extraordinary way in which you were very important to me, and that though you didn't know it, I was very important to you. But it all went for nothing because we only had 5 miles, and I was a stupid idiot at not knowing how to say something very important to someone I've only just met and not crash into lorries at the same time. What would you say I should do?
I'd say you should buy me a drink before my train goes.
There you go, mate. Tomato juice, half a bitter, 2 rounds of BOT. Next, please. Yes? Oh, so what's wrong
There
with it?
is, for some reason, something especially grim about pubs near stations. A very particular kind of grubbiness. Like the feeling which persists in England that making a sandwich interesting, attractive, or in any way pleasant to eat is something sinful that only foreigners do.
Well, don't eat it then.
Even I could do better.
Why don't you tell me what it is you have to tell me?
Yes, right. Fenny.
Excuse me. I wonder if you'd like to buy some tickets for our raffle. It's just a little one.
What?
To raise money for Angie, who is retiring.
What?
And needs a kidney machine. Only 50 pence each, so you could probably even buy 2 without breaking the bank.
Yes, all right. There. 2, please.
Oh, I do hope you win. The prizes are so nice.
Yes, thank you. So, Fenny.
And what about you, young lady? It's for Angie's kidney machine. She is retiring, you see.
Here, look. Here's a £5 note.
Oh, we are in the money. Down from London, are we?
No, that's all right, really. Keep the tickets.
Oh, but you must have your tickets, or you won't be able to claim your prize. They're very nice prizes, you know, very suitable. Here.
Thanks. Anyway.
And now, dear, what about you?
Oh, for heaven's sake! These tickets are for her.
Oh, I see. How nice. Well, I do hope you...
Thank you.
No, thank you. Oh, excuse me. I wonder...
Where were we?
You were calling me Fenny, and I was going to ask you not to.
Oh.
It's why I asked if you were a friend of my brother's. Well, half-brother, really. He's the only one who calls me Fenny, and I'm not fond of him for it.
So what is...
Fenchurch.
What?
Fenchurch. And I'm watching to see if you're going to ask me the same stupid question that everybody asks me until I scream. I shall be cross and disappointed if you do. And I shall scream. So watch it.
Fine.
All right, you can ask me. Might as well get it over with. Better than have you call me Fenny all the time.
I'm guessing...
We've only got 2 tickets left. You see, and since you were so generous when I spoke to you before...
What?
I thought I'd give the opportunity to you, because the prizes are so nice. Very, very tasteful, and I know you'll like them. It is for Angie's retirement present, you see. We want to give her...
A kidney machine, yes. Here.
Oh, there you are.
Yes, we are.
Oh, dear. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
No, it's fine. Everything that could possibly be fine is fine.
Oh, I say, you 2 are not in love, are you?
It's very hard to tell. We haven't had a chance to talk yet.
I'd better let you see the prizes, then.
Hello, you are about to ask me a question.
Yes.
I know what it is. We can do it together. Ready? Was I found...
In a handbag?
In the left luggage office at Fenchurch Street Station? And the answer is no.
Oh, fine.
I was conceived there.
In the left luggage office?
Don't be daft. What would my parents be doing in the left luggage office?
Well, I don't know.
It was in the ticket queue.
The
ticket queue, so they claim. They said you wouldn't believe how bored it's possible to get in the ticket queue at Fenchurch Street Station.
Right.
Look, I'm going to have to go in a minute or 2, and you haven't begun to tell me whatever this incredible thing is you're so keen to get off your chest.
Please, let me drive you to London. It's Saturday. I've got nothing particular to do.
No, thank you. It's kind of you, but no. I need to be by myself for a couple of days. But tell you what, got something to write on. I'll give you my number. Here, one of these will do. Here, we can relax now. Oh, hello.
go again. A box of cherry liqueurs. And also, and I know you'll like this, a CD of Scottish bagpipe music. And
Yes, thank you. Very nice.
Well, I just thought I'd let you have a look at them.
Yes, I can see that they are indeed. A box of cherry liqueurs and a CD of bagpipe music. That is what they are.
Yes, I'll let you have your drink in peace now. But I knew you'd like to see.
Whoops. Have to go.
Oh.
Don't worry. We'll talk again. Perhaps it wouldn't have gone so well if it wasn't for her.
Yes. I think that is probably perfectly true.
Don't see me off. Call me tomorrow.
Of course.
Yoo-hoo!
Fenchurch!
Yoo-hoo!
Yes.
Have you got ticket number 37?
Railway Inn, hello? Yes? You'll have to speak up. What? Can you ask your friend to stop playing the bagpipes? I can't. Oh, that's better. No, I only do the bar in the evenings. It's Yvonne who does lunch and Jim, the landlord. No, I wasn't on. What? You'll have to speak up. No, I don't know anything about no raffle. What? Hold on, I'll ask. Jim, bloke on the phone reckons he's won a raffle. Keeps on saying it's ticket 37 and he's won.
No, it was a guy in the pub here who's won it.
He says, have we got the ticket?
Well, how can he think he's won if he hasn't even got a ticket?
Oh. Jim says, how can you think you've won if you have... What? Jim, he's effing and blinding saying there is a number on the ticket.
Of course there's a number on the ticket. It was a bloody raffle ticket, wasn't it?
He says he means it's a telephone number on the ticket.
Oh, look, put the phone down and serve the bloody customers, will ya?
Yeah.
Lost in misery, contemplating the beautiful and mysterious grey glass bowl left by persons unknown on his bedside table, bearing the words, "So long, and thanks for all the fish," Arthur Dent's subconscious mind reaches out to make sense of this new earth and the frustrations of living on it. Closing his eyes, he can feel like a tingle on distant nerve ends, the flood of a far river, the roll of invisible hills, the knot of heavy rain clouds parked over a transport cafe somewhere away to the south. He feels the presence of countless other minds, some wakeful, some sleeping, one fractured. One fractured. He knows instinctively that it is Fenny. He knows that he wants to find her, and again feels the fracture lying before him across the days of the earth, bisecting time. Beyond this chasm is another land, another time, an older world. And as Arthur looks at the conjunction of two earths, one no longer existing, he awakes from the doze to find himself about 18 inches above the rose bushes of one of his neighbours. Idly, he wonders what he's doing above them, and what is holding him there. And when he discovers that nothing is holding him there...
That's one trick I'd forgotten I developed. I can fly in my sleep, though. For goodness. Trouble is, now I want to fly, I can't distract myself enough to do it. Oh, how many thorns? Ow! Oh! I'm coming! I'm coming! I'm here! Oh, you utter!
It's the drizzle that makes me really morose.
Please shut up about the drizzle.
I would shut up if it would shut up drizzling.
Look, it's very nice seeing you again, Rob, and this is a very snug little transport cafe. But I'm actually looking for a girl. I last met her there, over the road by the motorway junction, and if she comes back, I don't want to miss her.
Do you know what it'll do when it stops drizzling, do you?
No.
Blatter.
What?
It'll blatter.
I curse myself for bothering to say this, but actually, I don't think the rain will blatter. I think it will ease off.
It never eases off.
Of course it does.
It rains all the time.
Didn't rain yesterday.
Did in Darlington.
Really?
You could have asked me where I was yesterday.
No.
But I expect you can guess, because it begins with a D.
Does it?
And it was stair rods there, I can tell you.
I expect you added stair rods to your list.
Oh, there's more than a list. I have a diary. It goes back 15 years. Shows every single place I've ever been. And what the weather was like. And it was horrible. All over England, Scotland, Wales I've been. All around the continent, back and forth to Denmark, and it's all marked in and charted. Even when I went to visit my brother in Seattle.
Well, perhaps you'd better show it to someone.
I will.
Goodbye, Mr. McKenna. Oh, and thank you for achieving the impossible.
I'm sorry?
I thought living alone in a cave in prehistoric Islington was the most tedious experience I would ever undergo. You, however, have proved me wrong. I wonder...
While Arthur Dent is feeling bereft and sorry for himself, Ford Prefect is several thousand light years away simply feeling sorry for himself.
Oh, zarking racket. Can't I hitch one peaceful ride? Ow, ow, now I've got a cramp.
The ship Ford has inveigled himself aboard, one can hardly term his presence hitchhiking, as the ship's only other sentient occupant is not aware of his presence, is a vast silver dreadnought, built for the questing robots of Zaxxis. Having embraced an economy based entirely on binge drinking, video gaming and reality television, the reptilian lizard rulers of the planet Zaxxis had brainwashed their attention deficit human subjects so effectively that public apathy, rather than panic, was the response to attacks on Zaxxis by its neighbouring world, Zersla. The robots and their ships were built to defend the planet, but were inclined to think there had to be more worthy civilizations to defend. Using self-propelled tools to reconfigure their ships, they made huge pan-galactic leaps in search of true civilization. These voyages almost always resulted in disillusionment and a sad, head-shaking return to orbit over Zaxxis, not helped by encounters with hedonistic ne'er-do-wells like Ford Prefect, who would sneak aboard their ships via the exhaust vents, hijack the monitoring systems to play video games, and clutter up the corridors with the sort of lifestyle magazines which celebrate controlled substances and ecologically unsound forms of transportation.
I just want a few days R&R for Zark's sake. What the? A screwdriver? Wait, mind where you're flying. Nearly had my eye out. Shoo! Shoo! No, don't tidy up my magazines. Buzz off and screw up something. First rule of hitchhiking, never make up a bunk in a maintenance shaft. Second rule, never bunk next to a monitoring area. What in Zark are the sensors picking up now? More makeover vids? It's not as if there'll be any glimmer of intelligence from the Zaxxis news networks.
Single transferable vote has been put aside in favour of a competitive makeover of both legislatures. The Zaxissian chamber in Magnolia and the Zerslan with a cheerful nautical theme.
Thought not.
In a cold galaxy, the future is war. War and nothing but war.
Video games, not quite as trouser-filling as the real thing, of course, or as ironic.
Sidereal Daily Mentioner News Network on the Cosmovid Loop, coming to you live. Our reporter, Trillian Estra, has been following events at the state rededication of the Aga-Buthon Scepter of Justice. We'll be going over to her in just a moment. But first, this message from our sponsor.
Oh, way to go, Trillian. Prime time at last. Here we are. All should be peace and quiet. Except it isn't. External monitor on.
Zaxissian ship. Surrender or be destroyed by our star cruisers. You're in violation of the Zersla restricted zone.
A battle? That's the bloody racket. How am I going to sleep through all this? I suppose I could look up some insomnia cures.
Rest. A good hot bath is always... recuperation. C. Tea, making a proper cup of... and baths, good hot.
Third rule of hitchhiking, never import bookmarks from Arthur Dent's guide. Now, hang on a moment. If I do manage to get to sleep in amongst all this, I could wake up dead. Not good. Time for a little quiet persuasion.
Earth. Mostly harmless, but with some uniquely civilized...
Pause.
Pause.
Prepare download.
Please attach universal connector.
You could at least help me find one.
Hi! Is this Friends of the Planet?
That's what it says over the window.
Yes, right. I'm here in Islington doing a bit of research into its prehistory, and I was passing your shop, and it occurred to me that I'd like to give you some money to help save the dolphins.
Very funny.
To free them from captivity, from dolphinaria, weapons research, jumping through hoops, return them to the wild. Quite a lot of your appeals letters were on my doormat when I returned home recently after a long trip, and as I was lighting the fire with them, I thought, why not give a few quid to help save the dolphins? So I was passing and saw your shop and... Are you all right?
Actually, you're rather annoying me.
Just like this?
Astonishing, I know, but true.
Do we know each other?
Do I look like the sort of person who'd spend time with you?
Sorry. Must be having a déjà vu. This is Friends of the Planet, isn't it?
Yes, and that leaflet was sent out a year ago, but unless you've been in outer space for the last 12 months...
Funny
you would know that there is no need for further contributions.
Well, I'm glad the appeal was such a success.
Are you doing this to wind me up, or are you as stupid as you look?
Look, I was passing. I saw the shop. I thought I'd give you some money to...
I tell you what. Why don't you find another endangered species? Rhinos, gorillas, your own particular branch of Homo sapiens. Put your money somewhere useful.
Well, if you're going to be like that about it...
Leave now, before I set about you with this plaster rhinoceros!
Very well. You wouldn't happen to know this part of North London well, would you? I'm looking for a cave.
8 hours west of Arthur Dent, as the crow flies by passenger jet, sits a man alone on a beach, mourning an inexplicable loss. He can only think of his loss in little packets of grief at a time, because the whole thing is too great to be borne. He watches the long, slow Pacific waves come in along the sand, and waits for the nothing that he knows is about to happen. And as the time comes for it not to happen, it duly doesn't happen. The beach is a small sandy stretch somewhere along the coastline that runs west from Los Angeles, then north up towards the misty bay of San Francisco, where it's very easy to believe that everyone you meet is also a space traveller. Starting a new religion for you is just their way of saying, aye. There, barely inland from the ocean, lies the house of this inconsolable man, a man whom many regard as insane. His name is simply John Watson, though he assumes a more bizarre style of address. He's lost everything he cares for, and is now simply waiting for the end of the world, little realizing that it's already been and gone. One of the many reasons people think him insane is not through his choice of name, but because his house is called the outside of the asylum. In the house are a number of strange things, including a grey glass bowl engraved with 8 words.
Hello. I'm wondering if you could help me. I'm researching the prehistoric limestone caves of this part of London, and it appears that these mews cottages were constructed on the site of one that I, lived in.
Oh, Arthur, I thought you were going to phone me first.
Fenchurch?
Close your mouth, Arthur, unless you're going to throw up, in which case we'll go and get a bucket. Come on.
You live here?
Yeah. Why are there bits of plaster in your hair?
I was struck by a rhinoceros.
All right. Oh, I mustn't forget. My brother found this in his car.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yours?
Yes.
I think we need to talk.
What strange glitch has led Arthur to Fenchurch's front door? How much does she know of his past? And can Ford Prefect get some sleep aboard the robot ship before he exhausts his supply of play-being magazines? The centerpiece unfolds in the next full-frontal installment of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
In that episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, William Franklin was the book. Simon Jones played Arthur Dent, Geoffrey McGivern, Ford Prefect, Bill Patterson, Rob McKenna, and Jane Horrocks was Fenchurch. June Whitfield was the raffle woman, David Dixon, the ecological man, Anne Bryson, the BT operator, Simon Greenall, Jim, Brian Cobby, the speaking clock, and Geoffrey Perkins was Arthur's BBC boss. The announcer was John Marsh, the surround mix was by Paul Dealey, and additional effects by Ken Humphrey and Paul Weir. The script editor was John Langdon, and the music was by Paul Wicks Wickens. The production manager was Joe Wheeler, and the production assistant was Susie Matthews. The programme was adapted, directed and co-produced by Dirk Maggs. The producers were Helen Chatwell and Bruce Hyman, and it was an above-the-title production for BBC Radio 4. If you would like to make a contribution to a leading animal conservation charity, please send as much as you can to Adopt a Vogon Prostetnik Captain for Christmas, Planet Vogesphere, and don't expect any tax relief on it, because there won't be any.
That was Fit the 20th from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Well, that's it for this hour, and we will have more next hour of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy on Airchecks. Stay tuned.